Hey, what's up, Frat? You hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you now.
Okay, yeah, I decided.
Yes, I hear you well.
I decided to be in the studio tonight, so I am a little dark out. My light is lacking, but yeah, I just I got my equipment up and running, and so I thought I'd just come in here and mess around a little bit. You know how we do.
Okay.
What's good, brother?
All right. Everything's all a Suave, man. Just having a great day. A little tired, though, I must admit.
Really?
Is it too much light on my face?
Huh?
Does it look like it's too much light?
Super light.
Yeah, I'm asking. Does it look like it's just too much? Okay.
You're good.
All right.
So how was your week?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. So how was your day?
My day was busy, man. I've been in this studio all day, well, not all day, but most of the evening. Just in here trying to get my sound together and, you know, that type of thing, because we're evolving, brother.
Yeah, man. I was having one of those days where I was just like, you know, being productive like I normally do, but it was just a little extra today because I had to go to the doctor, you know, but get, you know, always, you know, I go like constantly, you know, keep checkups so I can, you know, maintain a healthy life. And, you know, as we get older, you start doing those little things, you know, like you say, fine tuning yourself. And so
Absolutely.
I just go ahead and keep my blood pressure checked, my blood work. You know, I've done a colonoscopy just to, you know, when you're a black male, you want to make sure you're on point because of the high risk factors. So, and everything normally good bill of health, you know.
That's what it is, man. We gotta stay healthy, and that's important for us to make sure that we continue to build on that because shit, health is wealth, brother.
Absolutely, you know, absolutely.
Health is wealth. So yeah, that's good stuff. That's good stuff to hear. And, you know, especially with the regular checkups, that's something that we always need to do. Myself, I check my blood pressure every day, to be real with you. I have high blood pressure. I found out in a crazy situation. Me and my wife was out shopping and I start feeling lightheaded, man. And so I felt too lightheaded. Next thing I know, I'm looking up, I'm on my back, man. I done fainted or something, you know. And so I was I guess I was just trying to, my male ego tried to kick in and said, I'm all right, baby. Don't worry about it. Yeah, let me just go to the car. So I started walking out to the car and I just didn't make it out the front door, man. And she called the ambulance and they took me to the hospital where they just said my blood pressure was up. And I just never had an idea, brother. You know, that was about 6 years ago. You know, somewhere at 5. Yeah, it was just recently, man. I mean, it just like everything was going on. I had to get glasses, you know, so I can't see far, but up close I can read well and all that good stuff. I just can't see far. And I used to pride myself in my eyesight when I was a kid because my mother used to say, boy, come here with those eyes. I can see everything. You know what I'm saying? But now, man, you know, and the crazy part about it was last year when I went for my annual eye exam, you know, I was talking to the doctor. I said, glasses don't improve your eyesight. They really make it worse because it seems as though I'm wearing them now. My eyes are even more dependent on it. you know. And
Yeah, it seems.
she said, yeah, you're right. So I've been trying to find a natural way to be able to try to work on my eye muscles, because the way that I've understood it is that, you know, it's really just the muscles in your eyes and how they work. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know,
Mhm.
but man, I go outside without my glasses on, to be looking foggy. He looks foggy and blurry.
Yeah,
I know when I don't have my glasses, you
yeah.
know?
I could tell you, man. I wear my glasses every day, but I wear 50% of the day. So I guess I try to be mindful of not being dependent on them. You
Right.
know, and so in fact, my glasses, my vision actually seemed that did get worse since I started wearing them. So I just try to make sure I wear them 50% of the time throughout the day. Like when I'm home, I don't even wear them. You know,
Wow.
and
Right.
then when I'm out, I do.
Yeah, I'm the same way. When I'm in the
I want
house,
to
I
share
really
this with you.
don't. Excuse me.
Hmm.
Only unfortunate
Man, I
thing
want to
is
share this with you. Hmm.
the only unfortunate thing is I can't watch, you know, the smaller TVs without them. You know, I mean,
Oh
my
yeah.
my living room TV is a pretty good size, but the one that I have hanging on the wall in the bedrooms or in the kitchen, you know, they're kind of challenging without my glasses. You know, I have to be a pretty decent closeness to the TV for me to really get a chance to look at it, because I got this thing about clarity and pixelation. You know, I guess just being in the media,
Oh
you know what I'm saying? I be wanting clear. I want to
yeah.
see it clear. You know.
Wanna-
Yeah, I want to welcome
Mhm.
everybody into the Get Happy Hour. Corkscrews, cocktails, and conversations with your brother, Success Architect, and definitely my brother Suave. You know how we do right here on the NPN TV. Y'all see me now. I'm starting to brand on y'all and everything. So this
Yeah,
thing is
I
getting
see
ready
that.
to
I
get pretty
see.
fun. You
I
know
got
what I'm
my
saying?
branding on today. Isn't that crazy?
Absolutely. Hey, you know what? I got a store on SheldonTV.com, and I definitely would like to carry some of your, especially that Suavecabulary stuff, man, that you got going on, because you know we got to
Oh,
definitely put that down, brother.
yeah. Yeah, you see, I
Yeah,
got my
man, I definitely want
literature
to carry it on
on
my
today.
store, huh?
Hey, but the funny thing is how you say we like twins, born on the same day, same hospital. Now, we let the people who's listening, did we know we was gonna wear baseball hats today? Did we even have a conversation today?
We didn't. We haven't had a conversation in a few days. You know, and my wife and
Yeah,
my wife said, "Oh, you're gonna go on young tonight, huh?"
yeah, look at that. We both wearing caps and branding today. Isn't that
Yeah,
crazy,
man.
man? This is what I'm
But
talking about. That's that chemistry, man. And the funny thing is, it was a book I read. It's called the Power of Relationships. And when you think about relationships of being on the same page, and then talking about our relationship, because we have not had a discussion about this. And your hat you wearing for branding, and I was wearing my shirt today, and we both wearing our baseball caps, and we hadn't had a conversation because what we've been wearing for the last couple of weeks was been
exactly.
wearing our hats and
Right, more
our
dress
blazers.
casual, a little bit higher
Yeah,
level of casual we were in, but we decided to, just kind of keep it cool and chillax today. And look at us, bomb. We both in the same space. That's the good stuff, man.
yes, yes, man. That's why I say it's that the chemistry. I tell people, man, when I wrote the book Ten Commandments of Intimacy, and when I talked about chemistry was one of those intangible uh, intimacies, because again, it's like no matter how much you can be smart, intelligent, and everything, chemistry has to be there. It has to be there, and that
I
makes
agree.
things work pretty smooth. And we didn't have this conversation,
We
and
def
look how it worked out.
we definitely didn't have the conversation, and then my wife said, "Well, baby, you think you're gonna be You gonna think you're gonna be underdressed?" I said, "Oh no." I said, "Shoot, it's just a chillax space. This is just what we do." I said so, and then here it is. You come on like I'm like, shh, everything is good. Everything is good.
Yeah, there you go. We swab laxing.
Absolutely, Suave laxing. Nothing better than that, man. So your week been going pretty good. You got a chance to get your engines and your oil checked and your transmission fluid checked with yourself. So that's
Yeah,
beautiful. Yeah,
yeah,
man. We got to
man.
keep these machines going, brother.
Absolutely. And, I just try. I keep myself hydrated. And all of us got to keep ourselves hydrated. It's this weather. And then also we want to make sure we protect our immune systems and making sure we stay strong because we don't know what's going on in this community, this Delta. But the bottom line is like we say, mind, body, and soul. So we're going to make sure that we keep all that all intact. You know,
Right.
we can always be prepared for any and everything, man.
I agree with you 100% on that, and that's one thing that we have to always push. Like I said here, in the cipher, it's about building, branding, and broadcasting. I get that's just me. I'm like it's about
Yeah,
building, branding, and broadcasting. So
like that.
whenever we communicate the way that we are, we're building. People don't understand that great conversations and being able to share ideas and open up your mind to other insights. That's building, man, and you can accomplish things and change things when you start building like that.
Yeah, I was it was something. It was young lady from I've known for years. Haven't spoken to her in a minute, but nevertheless, her name is Stormy Wellington, and she was just how sometimes people are talking about business and you have to put hard work and you can't give up. You got to put the work in. Nothing comes overnight, and what you manifest and what you think about, you become. And it's like the things that we've been consistently pursuing and never giving up. We're becoming that. This is a reality. I was just looking back on some of my things because I do spring cleaning 4 times a year, and I was just looking at old documents and I was talking about everything I wanted to do, and I was so consistent because I actually accomplished it. You know how when we define success, and people look at success another way, but when you accomplish your goals, you become successful. If you put 10 goals down and you accomplish every single one of them, you're successful. It's not always based on this monetary thing, but at the end of the day, you monetize your gifts and accomplishing your goals. So you end up being exactly where you want. That's why I say they don't concentrate on the money, concentrate on the goals, and it all works out.
I
And
agree with you 100%. I agree with you on that, but you a bad guy because you do spring cleaning 4 times a year, and spring only come once a year.
hey, well, I've been consistent with. Hey, listen, I've been consistent with that since ninth grade.
I can understand. I can understand
You
that.
know, I mean,
Salute.
on the real,
Hmm.
ninth grade, I just because what I realized is that you get the things you get on a regular basis, documents, mail, clothes, shoes, and you purchase things. And so if you don't discard certain things, it
It
just
piles up.
it just piles up. And
Yes.
then you start thinking things are more important than they really are. And that's why I was explaining to some of my patients, I was like, hey, hoarding will sneak up on you. It's like you don't realize it and you start like holding value to things that just really not that valuable,
Right.
and you have to be very mindful of that. So I'm like, no, I just started doing that since ninth grade, just getting rid of things. You find yourself holding on things year in and year out, and then it becomes some sentimental value. You're like, wait a minute, did I hold on to these shoes because they
Mm.
was the shoes I played football in? Like the only
Right.
value they hold is to me, but then like how important really are they? It's a memory, yes, and you can hold them for a couple of years, but sometimes you end up making those things a lifetime. And you're like, when you're gonna let go? I can tell you, one of the most challenging things I had to let go was some of my wrestling gear when I was wrestling professionally,
Right.
and I held that stuff for maybe 5 years, and I'm like, why did I hold those things? I remember the first thing that I think I got rid of was some boots. I gave them to Hassan from the WWE. He's called MVP. I remember giving him my boots. Um, and then I also remember the rest of the stuff I kept, and then I just finally just got rid of it.
Hmm.
Why did I even keep it? I guess it was memories. I still have some of the programs and stuff, but I guess.
Yeah, I'm with you on that because I have a storage room with boxes of all kind of things I've developed as far as programs and ideas and things like that, and I never want to throw them away. I don't care how old they are. I don't want to throw it away because I figure I can pull something out, maybe build something now. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But then when it's time, if I got to mobilize, or say, for instance, I got to move, or whatever the scenario may be, you come to really realize how much stuff you've accumulated, man. I
Yeah,
mean, and then you look back, you're like, dang, I haven't seen this. And the thing is I have boxes that I haven't been in, for a
yeah,
good time. And I'm like, if I needed it, I would have went and dug in those boxes to take a look at it, but I haven't dug in those boxes. So you know
yeah,
what? Goodbye.
yeah. And that's the thing. It's almost like taking that leap of faith. Once you jump, it's over. And I find myself putting my place, like I said, for years, not to
Uh-huh.
rationalize about things, out of sight, out of mind. And
Right.
you hold value to those things, but the reality is they don't really do anything for you. They're just memories. Because like every time I screen clean, and I'm like, oh man, I remember this, and I'm like, but okay, let me just go ahead, because you don't see them until you screen clean, and then
Well,
you're
it's a
like,
good thing, but it's a good thing you didn't throw away those "I love myself" some me shirts, though, huh? You kept
oh,
those, didn't you?
well, but here, but that was the self love shirt, but I only have one as an archive. I have one of everything, and I just keep it out as an
Right.
archive, and that's what I
Understood.
do. But I don't like hold on to them. I just like I sell them out, and once I get, because like for example, when I have certain products that I'll probably discontinue, I'll
Uh-huh.
sell them at a low price and be done with it. And I keep one as an archive. It's like
Well,
for
you
example,
got to keep that inventory fresh. You got to keep that inventory fresh all the time, brother.
yeah, like you see this ticket, that ticket, the orange ticket,
Uh-huh. I
that
see it.
ticket is so yeah. I just found one. I just found one, and I just
Mhm.
threw it away. Old ticket, and
I
I'm
hear
like,
you.
I got that ticket that's been it's framed, so I don't need the old one. It was just one, but I'm like I don't need it, you know. I'm like well, it'll just sit there. So when you have a bunch of one of things, you're like, you know what? I'm just holding on, and it becomes a whole bunch of stuff. And I've learned to just get rid of, And I
I hear
think
you.
what happens is, and if you notice over the years, I've moved and stayed in a lot of different states and cities, and I've learned to travel light. And I'm like, listen, I'm not going to be holding all this stuff. I don't
Right.
have these certain things. I'm just not sentimental or what I'm sentimental in is the hearts of people, caring about them. As you know, over the years, I'm checking on people. That's what's
Right.
important to me.
Right.
My books, I will hold on the books because I love books and a
Right.
few pictures. Those, but other than that, a house, a car, those things just not don't hold that
They
much
come and
value.
go, man. Those
Yeah,
things just come and go.
they don't hold value to me. Like every time I move, people are like, "Uh oh, let me know because I know you're gonna get rid of stuff." And I get rid of stuff quick. I'm talking about, how the Maori say,
The
"I'm off,
garage
you can't."
sale.
Yeah, exactly. They say, "I'll make you an offer you can't refuse." I remember I was getting rid of my house in Stone Mountain. I sold everything out of there in maybe 2 days.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and even when I left Miami and when I went to Charlotte, I sold everything out in 2 days. They were like, "Huh?" I said, like how I had this nice bedroom set, some big screen TVs, some leather living room set, and some leather bar stools.
Hmm.
Man, I said, give me 700, you have it all. And people, what? I said, yeah, you can have it all, TVs and all, and everything. And I sold like shoes for $1, ties, for a quarter, and
Right.
bam, that stuff I had to carry.
Well, you know what? It just keeps you light in your feet and help you to be able to think on your feet, man, to be able to travel like that and move like that. Another thing is you can never get bored with yourself because you got to continue to reinvent yourself when you moving
Yes,
like that, bro.
yes,
So
uh-huh,
so you'll go in the furniture store, and like I tell a lot of people whenever it come down to me, if I purchase something, because I being a salesman has been a part of my professional career
okay,
for a long time. But
yes,
like I
yes,
tell them, I say, if I walk in the furniture store, the furniture picks me. I don't pick the furniture because it had to be something that'll catch my eye. You know what I'm
absolutely.
saying? It'd be like looking at my wife in a short dress with them pretty legs. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm like, it got to be something that'll reach out and touch me, man. And that's just really how it works. But like I said, the good thing about the way that you do things It keeps your mind fresh. You keep reinventing yourself. You just don't get content and settle with things because you understand they come and they go. But
Yeah.
people in your life don't do it that way. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I can
Mhm.
respect the fact that you put the value in the relationships, the
I
people that
do.
you care about. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
I know you, Frat. Come on, man.
Yeah.
I know you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's the beauty of it all. That's the power in that, man. So
Absolutely.
you can accept. That means that you can accept defeat honorably, but still come back and win.
Yeah. 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 I remember it was two speeches I did last year. One was called "Game Changers, Change for Change is Needed," and the
Uh
other
huh.
one called "Comeback of a Lifetime." And sometimes when you be able to reinvent yourself, it reminds me of how you remember when Ice Cube first left NWA. He knew he was unlimited potential, unlimited talent. So he didn't
Right.
care about the little stuff because he knew he had a whole bunch of creativity in his heart. So he made a comeback of a lifetime because he's constantly making comebacks. He wasn't dependent on just that because he knew he had
He
so much
came back
sauce.
and elevated. He came back and
Yeah,
elevated his game. I mean, look at him now, man. He owns a basketball league. He's made crazy movies. You know what I'm saying? Some of
yeah.
the
But a
dopest in
bunch
our
of
culture.
brands. Look all the brands, the barbershop brand, the
Yeah.
Ride Along brand, the Friday brand. I mean, these are different brands. Are we there yet? Brands. I mean,
Are we there
and now
yet? But
you're in
yeah,
the
he
basketball league.
yeah, he got the basketball league now, and that's one thing that I see a lot of since I'm just really starting to delve back into my media. I'm on the platforms, man. I got to see what other people are doing because I got to be able to run in this race, bro. I don't want to get too far behind, and I don't want to
Mhm.
be too far ahead while I'm comfortable either. Because
Absolutely.
somebody will pass you because that bear will jump on your back, if you know what I mean. If you ever ran
Yeah.
track before, you know what I'm saying. So it's just about being a forward thinker, man. And I love what he do. I love the things and
Yeah.
the products that he's created, man. I mean, he got some good stuff going on. So that's all I'm looking to do with Neighborhood Planet. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm
Yeah,
glad you
man.
all this. That's why I'm glad you all as a director in the Planet, bro. Cause we gonna make it pop off, man. We're gonna make it pop off. We got some people in here. Tracy's in here.
Oh, how you, Tracy Randolph?
Tracy Randolph.
How
She's
you
in here.
doing? Yes, yes, yes. How you doing, sister?
Yeah,
Hey, let
I
me tell
told her
you
thank you for
something.
tapping in. I told her thanks for tapping in with us. It's
Yeah,
always good to see it. It's always good to see it. Ain't nothing but love up in this spot.
yeah. That's the reset coach, man. That's the reset coach. If any of you guys are interested in staying in shape, living a healthy lifestyle, check out the Reset Coach, Tracy Randolph. Man, check her out on Facebook, and she does exercise live. I think what a couple of days a week, but you can always check her out on Tracy Randolph on Facebook. Yeah, man.
Oh, and I
Um,
definitely want to shout out to my queen because she's tuning in with us too. She rolling with
oh
us.
yeah, well that's a beautiful thing, bro. You know what I'm saying? The Queen.
So she
Hey,
rolling with us too. You know how we do.
tell the birthday triplet. I said Suave evening.
Yeah, man. She checking us out. She checking us out, man. But what were you saying now? You were saying
Um,
something.
yeah, I want to share with you this beautiful experience I experienced today, man. I was speaking to this brother at the hospital today, and he
Okay.
was saying, man, when you treat people like you treat your grandparents, life turns out all right. Because you know what, your grandparents, sometimes you can be firm with your parents, sometimes you can be firm with your significant others, sometimes you can be firm with colleagues, co-workers, associates. But it seems like with grandparents, it's always like you're so humble. You want to protect them. You want to honor them. And when you treat them with so much
Respect.
dignity, yeah, and respect, is always that beautiful dynamic with them. You know how people sometimes bump heads with their own parents, but grandparents is almost like you see them in this utmost respect, and you always want to make sure they're protected. You want to make sure if you see them, sometimes you see them fragile, but you don't want nothing to happen to them. You don't want anybody to say anything to them. And but if you treat everybody with that high level of respect, life would be so much beautiful with all of us. And that was just a beautiful some insight this brother shared with me, man. And I was
That's
like,
dope.
I told him, I said, I'm gonna share that on tonight's show, man.
That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah,
And you know the
man.
crazy part about it is I was raised by my grandparents, Fred.
Really? Yeah,
I
man.
was. I
Hey,
mean, my grandfather was born in 1919 and my grandmother was born in 1923. So
wow.
that's what I was raised with. That's what I was raised by, all the way
Yeah,
up until I
man.
left, all the way up until I left them and came down here to finish school, man.
Yeah,
Up until
man.
what, 87 when I came here. So
Yeah,
yeah, man, I understand it though. It is, and it is a beautiful thing. It's you're raised differently because their mindset and their vision on life and what they had to experience was totally different than what we have to experience, man.
yeah,
My grandfather was 10 years old when the Great Depression started. So from him being from 10 to 20, the depression was going on, bro. So you
yeah,
can imagine, so he was the guy that would go out when he go to the grocery store. He bought a lot of groceries back in the day when I was a kid. He would go out and spend $150 on grocery because he had 5 kids in the house and and my grandmother. So, it's just what it was, man. And he just used to stock up. You know what I'm saying? Just I guess to feel safe because back during that time, I can't imagine what it was like, especially being black during the Great Depression, bro. He
yeah,
used to tell me his mom used to make 50 cents a week.
yeah. You know,
50 cents a
it's
week, brother.
crazy, Pratt. Every week I've been learning so many things about you because some of my similar experiences. Because my grandfather was born 1918.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's what's up.
man, and a great percentage of my life I was with them.
That's
And
what's
I'm
up.
like, wow, this is crazy because a lot of our frats or a lot of our friends we went to school with knew the house, my grandparents. So it was like, wow, everybody knew that.
Right.
And it was like, like I say, he was like the hero of the family, a hero of the neighborhood,
I
because
got you.
it's always looking out for the community. They always call him Uncle Coney, and like that's what they called him, and that was his last name, but they just called him that because they wasn't even related to us, but because he always looked out for them. He always
Respect.
gives some wise counsel, respect to the kids, and also my dad would give me money, and he would give me money, and so I was a kid who always had everything, and so I was taught to give back. And so, you know how it is in certain neighborhoods, man. And to make sure I blessed all the kids,
I got you.
you know, and you
I
know,
got
and
you.
you know how $5 and $10 go a long way,
Man, you could
back then.
$5, $10, you're gonna feed about 25 kids back in them days, man. Hell, you could
Yeah,
get a box of red hots for a dime. Come on,
yeah,
man. Back
man.
then, come on, man. Shoot. You got $5, you the pimp of the neighborhood back in the day
Yeah,
as a
yeah.
kid, brother.
And the crazy
25
thing
cents
is,
for a soda.
I had about like three bikes and 3 bikes and a skateboard, man. So I used to like, hey, man, y'all can ride my bikes, and everybody, because I used to take them up to Burger King on 27 over there in Opalaka. Because I used to they used to have a salad bar. That's all I ate. They have a salad bar, and it was a pita bread. I used to fill that job up with all lettuce, mushrooms,
Mhm.
everything was dry, and the sprouts and everything. I used to love that, man. And I would make sure all the kids, get what they want, because I was taught to give back, and that's one of the things was so important to me when I pledged, about giving service. You remember I was very active in the community. You remember Black Student Union
Exactly. Exactly.
pledging, and
Exactly.
yeah, so I always wanted to give back. My law enforcement career, the military. It was always important that I did something for others other than myself, and that's how I was raised. And and people like used to say, well, why are you selfish? I'm selfish because I'm not going to fail myself and accomplish my goals, but I'm also not going to fail a community by not giving back. Because one thing about it is nobody can say you didn't give back or you didn't earn what you have. And I want to keep that level of balance in my life.
I got you. Yeah, and I agree with you on that because I'm the person that believe that service begets wealth, man. I believe that, with
Yeah.
the purpose and the impact that you make positively with other people to help them
Hmm.
to better their lives, you're gonna be blessed for it abundantly. So I believe in
Absolutely.
service. And the thing about it is that because we've been doing it for so long and it's such a natural part of our DNA, it's effortless. It's not an effort for me personally. Whenever I do anything and I put any time or I put my boots on the ground and do stuff, it's not an effort for me. It's just who
Hmm.
I am. It's part of who I am. I just do
Yeah.
it. You know what I'm saying? But for some people, they just seem like it's such an effort to
You
be
right.
able to do for others, and then they want to toot their horn when they do. For me, it's just a natural thing to do, brother. It's just a natural thing to do. And
Yeah.
that's where,
Yeah.
that's me. Like I said, I'm a socialpreneur. I'm not an entrepreneur. I'm a socialpreneur. I believe in profiting with a purpose. I do have a sense of capitalism, go in and getting it and always on the grind and hustling hard. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time,
Mhm.
on the other side, I always got that balance of purpose and that service there. Like for every for-profit company that I form, I always have a nonprofit
Mhm.
or a purpose initiative or something that I also build on the other side to be reflective of it. So that way it won't lose its vision of the mission or what its purpose is. It always got to have a balance for me. So that's why for everything I do, that's why Neighborhood Planet is a public broadcasting network. I'm not out here to compete against these cats about
Mhm.
getting this bread. I don't have to. Because if I provide the right service and give those what they need, exactly what they need and what they're looking for, gotta take care of the rest of it, brother. The creator will take care of the rest of it. I believe that.
Yeah.
I believe that service begets wealth. So, you know, we just keep it pushing, keep it moving. You know how it works. You know how it
Yes, yes,
works.
yes,
You know,
man.
you know how it works. So tell me,
Yeah.
man, you got any projects that you're working on that you'd like to share with me and stuff? Anything that you got going on? But I see what you got as far as your suave vocabulary, merchandise, and things like that. We definitely gonna put that together. Like I said, I gotta have some of that in my store.
Yeah, man. I got this project I'm working on. I'm keeping it under the radar. And then you
Okay,
know how I tend to say I got something coming when I do the little commercial thing, and I said something coming, I got a surprise, and
right,
that's how I'm gonna do it. Gotta make sure it's all in place. I want to, I speak things into existence, but I'm gonna keep it on the low until right before I release.
right,
I could say, and also I'm doing a little editing for the second part of the commandment series. Because again, that's another project, and then I'm working on some stuff that going to be possibly doing in the Midwest. It's going to relocate for there for a few months.
right. You
And
were telling me about that.
yeah, yeah, and it's not too far from Chicago, not too far from Detroit, and dead in the center. And you know how I am when it comes to building relationships, so I'm definitely going to build some relationships up there.
Right.
And also spread the brand, spread the information, and try to continue to brand Brother Suave. Because
Absolutely.
it's always work, and I continue to strive, and also just getting these products out there. And again, like I tell people, oh, I do have a thing I'm going to be putting for Monday, October 4th. Um, that's how I'm going to do a how to promote your books and your products. I asked some. I was writing a class
Okay.
how to do that, and I got to do a advertisement. But that's one of the projects I'm working on for October. And so I'm just setting up a class on how to promote and brand yourself.
Okay.
So that's some of the things I've been working on. I'm
That's what's
always
good.
working. My mind's always going on. It's probably some things I probably have written down that I can't think of right now. But like P Diddy said, can't stop, won't stop.
Right. Right. Well, that's what's good. That's what's
I mean,
good. Well,
you see, I put it out there.
huh?
I mean, it's consistent. I'm
Right.
always. I don't go a day, weeks without getting my product out there to new customers, new clients. Because it all happens at the same time. You get a new client, a new customer, you get a new client. And
Right. That's the way, I see that.
so
I see that on your Instagram posts. You always, and that's what I love about you. You're consistent and persistent, and people don't understand that. That's really one of the main ingredients to success, man. Is you got to be
yeah,
consistent. You got to be persistent. You got to show up every day. You got to have
yeah,
your mindset on that
I
goal, man.
show
And
up,
you got to push toward it.
show up. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
you
and,
got to
and you know
show up.
me for 30 years. You got to. I've been telling people. I
Absolutely.
say, what? That's why I tell people don't get my confidence mixed up with arrogance. I say I don't know anybody who constantly push their product year in and year out. People they'll sell their book or their product, and after a couple of months, it's
They
gone.
give
And
it
that's
up.
one of the things
Yeah,
that we'll be talking
they give
about
up. Yep.
workshop. You know, and relaunch your product. If you care, that's your baby. You create your baby. You want to nurture, develop it. And continue to push it. And that's
Absolutely.
that's the thing. I mean, people say, wait a minute, you wrote that book is. I keep it fresh. Like one of my cousins, he got fresh in your face conch salad in
Hmm.
Miami. It's
Okay.
my product's fresh in your face because you're gonna like, wait a minute, that's the same book, and it's been 3 years now, man.
Right.
And and the thing is, it's still millions of people haven't read it, so you going, and so it's always going to be new to a whole bunch of people. But
And
people
not
will
only
have
that,
they
the subject matter always remains relevant. I mean, it's
absolutely.
timeless. So that's the
Yeah,
benefit of it.
yeah. And the funny thing that you say, the basis of the book, I been doing it since '89, and I just as the years progress, I just kept adding on. And as you grow, you learn, you have different perspectives, and you start adding on and incorporate. That's why I tell people sometimes take your time and put things together because you grow. And like when I thought about the one thing I'm adamant about is not being adamant about anything. And I didn't want to be so concrete. So as the years passed, I grew, I developed, I got more experience, more training, more insight. And then when I felt comfortable enough, I think I was pretty proficient based on my training, my experiences, and my insight. Then I released. Some people have a moment of these epiphanies, and then they want to start releasing stuff. And I'm like, wait a minute, take your time. Don't be so impulsive. Put it all together. That's your
Right.
brand that represents you. You don't want to go out there having something that's going to misrepresent you.
And
You
and
know.
and, and then what happens a lot of time too is because they really don't. A lot of individuals really don't know how to pursue it and push it. They get discouraged because they can't sell the book or they don't make sell. I ain't gonna say can't sell it because I think anybody can sell, but
Mm-hmm.
they don't sell the book, so they get discouraged because they've bought 5 or 10 cases of books and they're sitting there still in the house a year later. You know what I'm saying? They like you said, if someone get excited about their product or their merchandise, they have a launching, and then after that, the fire goes away. And it like you said,
Yeah.
it's about showing up. It's always about showing up every day. It's about putting in that work every single day. You just got to do it. Got to make it habit.
Yeah.
You know.
And you care about something. That's why I call it my baby. My products are my babies. I love them. I invest in them. I care about them. I nurture them. I promote them because like your baby, you develop them, you nurture, you teach them, and then they show up and show out. So I nurture my product, I develop it, and when it's out there, it shows up and it shows out. It empowers these people. They're like, oh wow, you understand? And so I'm like, oh, I want people to understand this is something I invested in. It wasn't some overnight impulsive writing. No, this was something that I nurtured and
You've
let
had
it like,
passion about. You developed it.
yes, absolutely. And so why would you develop and put some time and energy into something that you're not really caring about? It's
Right.
almost like going to school, putting all that sacrifice and going to undergraduate and experience all these challenges and then just drop that, get the degree and don't do it. So it's like, wow, you want to just have a conversation that you got a degree, but you're not
Mm,
utilizing it? No. So if I invest some time, I want to see a return in it,
I
you
got you.
know? I mean, writing a book is not a conversation piece for me. It's something that I cared about and I want to monetize off. I want to make money from it. I can't make no money for it just sitting in the closet, or the trunk or the garage. No, it needs to get out there.
And that wasn't the reason that you created it for, to sit in the garage or sit in the closet. You
Absolutely.
created it for it to make money. That was your purpose. Not only that,
Mm-hmm.
but to get you, of course, to tell your story. We understand that. But at the same time, like you said, if you invested time and resources in it, you want to return from that. That's just common sense.
Absolutely.
There's nothing wrong with that. That's the way that it's supposed to work. And talking about that, that's why we got Neighborhood Planet Network. So you could also have another platform over here to be able to promote all of your products and your merchandising.
Yeah.
So we could travel down the road together with this thing. That's the way it's built.
Yes.
So Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. Because I feel as though, especially when you have a product or a service that you're really trying to build, you never should neglect any type of resource to help you to be able to continue to expand your brand. I
Hmm.
mean, it's not a point of having competition. It's just a fact of being able to make good partnerships and build good relationships. Because listening to you, I guess what I would like to tell everybody that's out there, just like you said, really, the wealth is created through relationships. That's how you
Yeah.
really get wealthy, is through relationships. Nothing else,
Yeah.
nothing, nothing more, nothing less, because those relationships can get you into places that other things can't, including money. You
Hmm.
know that already. You've been in situations where money couldn't have got you any result that you needed, but that relationship got you
Yes.
what you needed, brother.
Yeah.
All right?
I must admit that those
Yeah, man.
relationships, and that's why I was like in that book. It was called "The Power or the Significance of Relationships." Man, relationships are well. I often have conversations with people who always say, "Man, that's nepotism, that's favoritism." They looking out for their friends. That's how life is. People,
It is.
they look out for you. It's like when people used to tell me, "But they hiring them because they know them." I got all the qualifications. I'm like, excuse me, that person who I knew had the same qualification you can have. However, I know them. I know them to be responsible. I know them to be loyal. I know them to
Absolutely.
be professional. It's a
Yes.
guessing game. You know what I'm saying? You may have the same good credentials on paper, but I don't know your work habits. I don't know your ethics. I don't know your
I don't know your
morals. I don't
character.
exactly. I don't know your characters. But that person I know, yes, I'm gonna hire them before you can put it however you want to. But I know them. I know
Right.
their hard work. I trust them and I believe in them. I don't
Right.
even know you. I'll be taking a chance on you, paying you a salary, but not even knowing how you are as a professional. Because everybody looks the same on paper. Everybody can manipulate themselves and edify themselves on paper. You
Absolutely.
know?
That's why you go into an interview, because someone want to get a feel for who you really are by being able to
Exactly.
interact with you and engage with you personally. That's
Yeah.
why that's the disadvantage that, us older school cats have now, if it was a fact that we are looking for a job, because now everything is done with algorithms and things like that. So even whenever you send in your resume, if it's not formatted correctly, because I've dealt with so many damn headhunters, they tell you how to format it, so that way whenever your resume comes in, the software that it comes through in their system can read it and put it in a folder where you're a prospect or a good candidate. It's about the way that you structure your resume. And they
Yeah.
have classes on that shit, man. I mean, I've been in a lot of situations where no, don't, you can't make it that long. It got to be one page. No, you can't do this. I'm like, I can't put all of my career experience that's valuable on one page. I just can't do it.
Man. Yeah.
So it's a challenge, man. But again, the wealth is built through the relationships, and I think that's
Yeah.
really the moral of the story here. And that's what I
Yeah.
think a lot of people have to understand, is that sometimes you have to get personable. And like you and I have discussed before, where you can call someone, they won't answer the phone, but as soon as you text them, they'll text you right back. I can understand if, like, you're in a meeting or you're in a situation where you can't get on the phone at the time, but it'd be a point that they just want to text. And I understand, and we're in a different era and a different generation, and texting is a huge part of what we do and a huge part of our existence every day. I don't have a problem with that, but it's really the personal engagement and interaction still has more value, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
You
And,
know,
and I'm glad you said that because again, I think again these platforms are helping people to process this stuff because again, texting was a secondary form of communication, not primary. And I think sometimes people forget that. So I think these things are little reminders to tell people, we have to be personable. We have to communicate. We have to maintain and try to sustain functional, healthy relationships. Because at the end of the day, um, you being so impersonal by strictly texting and making that your primary source of communication, and then you don't have that connection to them, and they may be in a situation, and then they call you as a should I say, what do you call it, as an option, not an option, you're an option to them because
a
they never had
second
you as a
option.
priority, But then when they calling you now, they need you. You know, like you disconnected to them. You're like, only
Right.
relationship I have is a texting relationship. I don't feel, and so it's important that people don't use texting and communication as their primary, in terms of building their primary source of building their communication as well as their relationship. Because again, and I remember over the years, like you would call me and you beat me to it or call, and I'm like, hey, and that's why when you took the initiative and started doing that, and I'm like, man, this brother's a good brother. And I'm like, and then I started to call back, and I'm like, but you was always on point on it, and that was instrumental in how my behaviors changed in terms of making sure I did. I was always communicating with people, but
Hmm.
then I started to realize all of it was reciprocal. But when you reached out, it was like, man, this is my frat brother is reaching out, and our relationship has grown, and that's we found out we was born the same day at the same
Everything.
hospital. Man, that's crazy.
But I can understand, getting busy for one, and for two, not really being, personally familiar with someone, because whenever we're not personally familiar with someone, we move differently with them. You know what I'm saying? So because it's
Mhm.
like if I meet someone now that is just a general meeting and I meet them at a happy hour, whatever it may be, I take their card. Yeah, they call me. I might not answer the phone. I might not recognize the number, and they might call me. We
Mhm.
might have brief conversation. We might not have connected on the conversation. So it might be sporadic,
Uh,
but once you have that, that real conversation, that connecting conversation, that gives you the opportunity to be able to judge or be able to consider if that person will be symmetrical to the direction that you're going. Are they going in the same direction as I'm going? Because, as we gotten older, we're pretty conscious and and pretty selective on the individuals that we roll with. It's just facts, from
yeah.
all the experiences that we've had in our life. And we don't believe in wasting time too much of it anyway, you know,
Mhm.
because we do have to put time in order for us to be able to progress. That's just facts. So, but it's a good thing. I'm glad that you and I end up connecting and having conversations. I'm glad that when you came down and we had a chance to actually, go out and have dinner and be able to have conversation and things like that,
Yeah.
because that opened up the door and opened up for you to see what's inside. And that's
Mhm.
the big part about it, because for me, it is about your character. That's a huge part for me. I have a moral compass. I
Mhm.
want to know the kind of man that you are. It's important for me because in order for me to roll with you, we got to have something in common. We got to have something
Mhm.
similar besides our birthdays. That's my thought.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then when we got to know one another, I'm like, psh, that's my damn twin on the other side. You know, I might be in some jeans and a t-shirt and some sneakers. He might be in a suit and a tie, but we still twins on the other side. But don't get it twisted. He can flip over and put on the sneakers and jeans and turn his hat backwards too. You know what I'm saying? So, and I can put on the suit and tie and go sit down with my attaché case and talk numbers. You know,
Yeah.
so that's just how it works, man. But I'm glad that it's gotten to the point to where it is. I'm glad that we're in the process of really starting to build. And as we continue to add another brick, we're building up that mansion, bro. And as long as we continue to do this, we just write another set for the movie. We'll,
Mhm.
we'll we'll create our own biopic at the end of the day. Broadcast our
Yeah.
own stuff right here on Neighborhood Planet.
Mhm.
you know. So, but yeah, I'm glad, man. I'm really happy I got a chance to come in the studio, man, just to be able to put this down and be able to record it so I can go back and view it, because I've been going back and viewing all of our shows, man,
Okay.
and seeing how we
Yeah.
can progress.
That's what I was doing right before tonight's broadcast.
Yeah.
In fact, remember when you were saying what I have? I'll be there next Wednesday. I got
Okay.
yes, I'll be in Boca Raton. I'll be in a
Okay.
resort for 5 to 6 days, 7 days, something
Okay.
like that. My youngest son, man, he turns 18 on August 5th, man.
Oh man. So
And
that's
so,
one for the
so
record books right there.
yeah, man. Yeah, we got that little resort. Um today it's so funny how we some of my kids they so good in technology. Man, he had to walk me through StockX because
Uh-huh.
he wanted some threes. He wanted some threes. And I was sitting there, I'm like, man, I don't know how to do this. he says he said that is easy. I'm like, man, I don't know. So what I did
Right.
was I asked him to call me on Duo, and then I put the camera towards the other phone so he could see it. And he's like, hit this, and I'm like, okay. And he said, what else? He said, hit that. I'm like, okay. Do I keep going or you fill out? He said, no, put that stuff right there. And it's like how we looking at you. And this
Right.
stuff we couldn't even imagine back when we was 18, man. Like Duo and the other phone, you know, I'm having two phones. So I'm like, okay.
Right.
And he walked me through it, man. And just ordering sneakers online and doing all this stuff. And I'm like, wow, wow. It's just
Times have changed, brother.
incredible,
Times
man.
have changed. And
Yeah.
that's why, you were in broadcasting back in the day just like I was. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Mm-hmm.
and the thing that I'm happy about is that we have this technology now, because like we were talking about a couple of weeks ago too, to do something like this face to face, remote, real time, man, that stuff will cost you hundreds
Mm-hmm.
of thousands of dollars with the equipment that you would have to pull out and the crew that you would
Yeah.
have to be able to help run that equipment, blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? For us to be able to do it now, I'm like, we the OGs of this game in a sense. For those
Yeah.
out there, don't get offended when I say that, but we are, because we were around before we had internet the way we have it now. We were on dial
Yeah.
up. Okay.
Yeah.
We were on dial up, so things, and the funny thing about it is, like, just like with social media, you could press one button and you could send something to a million people. Back in the day, when you wanted to market for your company, you had to print out flyers and you had to walk from door to door
Yeah.
and give those
Yeah.
flyers out. You had to meet people. You had to shake the
Door to
owner's
door.
hands. You had to shake the manager's hands. It wasn't no send an email. It wasn't hit a
Mm-hmm.
button to send anything out on social media. You had to go door to door to these companies
Yeah.
and talk to
And
people
then
in
it was not
charge.
too long ago because the same thing with passing those flyers up. Man, I had to go send them things all, put it all in the city. You see flyers on the ground because you
Yep,
give them out on the street. You like,
absolutely.
and people they could just erase the or but back then you had to go put that foot in. You had to go out there, try to sell your product, and put your flyers up. Staple
Yep,
them. This was work. It was
yep.
real work.
It was.
And the thing is, and also even competing for or on their personality position, you're competing for people all over just to get that one spot.
Yep,
AM, I mean, AM, afternoons and nights,
yep.
and so now people could just get their equipment and start broadcasting,
Right at
and
home.
do it.
Right at home.
It's right at home. I remember going, man, I used to go, I remember on Sheridan, driving from home all the way to Sheridan and,
Right.
and getting in all the security and everything. And I
Right.
remember doing my, God bless his soul. That you remember our frat brother Chief Jimmy Brown,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I was doing intern at Cox Communication. And man, I used to do hot talk.
Yeah,
I used to be
I remember,
so
because but see, I was there before you though. I was when it was on 79th Street Causeway, and I used to have to drive
okay.
out there. I was out there when what's his name? I want to say Derwin. I don't know. I forgot his name, but yeah, I was out there when it was. Well, I was the lead promotion assistant. I used to drive the box, the radio truck. We used to go and do all the
Oh
remotes
man,
every
yeah,
Saturday. Yeah, man. I worked for him for 3 years, and then we were trying to. Then I had my kid, so
yeah.
family happened at that point. So I needed something with a little more money,
Mm-hmm.
and so we tried to work it out and things like that. I ended up leaving because I had to get me a real job, a better job. Let me put it that way, because that was a real job. I hated to leave it. I really did, because I was just all about broadcasting and media at that time. And so
Yeah, but it
we
wasn't.
did.
It wasn't like
Yeah, it was, especially being in promotions. You know what I'm saying? You were just a
Yeah.
street team. They didn't call it street team. They call us a promotion team. But we did everything, man. We did the Goon Bay. We did the bicentennial celebration for the city of Miami when they had
Oh
their
yeah.
anniversary. Tom Joyner was there. You know what I'm saying? We did
Mm-hmm.
Goon Bay. We did the Sis Drunk Festival.
Oh man.
We were anchored. We anchored all that stuff, man. And I was lead promotion assistant, so I took pride in that shit, because I had a team of about 7, 8 maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll be out there all day, man. We had to go out there and put the flyers up and set up the stage and all that good stuff, man. It was fun. I appreciate it. So
Yeah.
now,
Yeah, man.
I got my own shop. I got Neighborhood Planet Network. I'm putting it out there
Yeah,
myself. I got NPN TV, NPN Radio, and NPN Voice. So we got
man.
work. We got work, Frat. Believe me,
Yeah.
it's gonna get fun, man. I'm here to develop it. I got a couple of stations now that I'm actually working on. I got some spots put together on that. So before I close out tonight, I'm gonna run a couple of them. Um,
Okay.
one of my stations and one of my shows are going to be Smart Black Woman TV.
Ah,
Um, yeah, Smart Black Woman TV. Let me hit you up with it with the promo right fast. It's a
okay.
short one.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was
Let us
just
see
an
that.
idea. So this is one of the shows or one of the channels that's going to be on Neighborhood Planet Smart Black Woman TV. Lee's going to be the host. She's going to bring some people in.
Okay.
And another channel that we're looking to get also done by the end of the year is going to be My Florida TV, and that's my project. What I'm looking to do with My Florida TV is to have a statewide channel for our Black American communities.
Okay.
So yeah, just to be a information central where they can come and get content, really just to connect all the Black neighborhoods in the state of Florida.
Okay.
Just to be a statewide network and a statewide channel. Let me pull that one up. Let me real fast, right quick, right fast. Let's see. You know how we do. Right here, right quick, right
Yeah.
fast, right fast. Let
Mhm.
me see. Here we go. Okay. And that's representing all the area codes just to start getting it out there to get things to the momentum pushing. I would definitely like for you to work with me on this project. Have some community partners. What I'm looking to do is partner with community organizations and those change agents. And I mean Masons, frats, sorors. Because the great thing about the technology now is that you don't need a lot of it. You don't need a lot of equipment like we had back in the day, like you used to have to lug whenever you used to have to do your sets. Only thing you really need is software in the cloud and a device. So with
Yeah.
those two things, you can basically do everything that any regular TV station does every single day. And
Yeah.
you can reach even more people than they do on the television because everybody has devices and
Yeah.
it's extremely convenient for you. But what I want to do is be able to, again, like we always talk about, is to help dictate the narrative and be able to help
Yeah.
control imagery and tell our own stories. Let's tell our own stories to the world. Let them know who we are from us, not from the
Yeah.
others. You know what I'm saying? So that's the
Absolutely.
purpose of it. Definitely built for indie Black media individuals, those of you who are producing, those of you who have ideas, those of you who write, those of you who direct, those type of things. This is just a platform for you to be able to feature your talent, feature your
Hmm.
skills, and that's why I'm slowly pulling out these other things. Of course, there's more to come behind these, but right now, these two are the ones besides Sheldon TV are the ones that I'm really looking to work on, which is the My Florida TV and the Smart Black Woman TV, because I feel as though with Smart Black Woman TV, I like to be able to have that to create a bridge so we can close the gap between our kings and our queens. Because I see that's one thing that I notice is that it seems sometimes there's a great amount of momentum that's separating or conversations or assumptions or insinuations that kind of create a wider gap between our sisters and our brothers. And I think that it has to be a point of understanding and dialogue for us to be able to close those gaps. And the only way we can do that is if we understand the other side. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So being able to have the sisters to feature these intelligent sisters and they tell their stories and their sentiments and their ideas and their feelings. I think that's something that could be a vital part of building that gap and putting so we
Yeah.
can reinforce our families, man, and reinforce our neighborhoods. Because that's important. It's important. I mean, that's the only thing I can say. That's the only two words that I could come up with is it's important. And the only way we
It
can do
is.
it is we got to address it. Those things have to be said and told and shown, so that way, so you can comprehend it. If you don't know what another person's struggle, how can you expect to be able to have the empathy and understanding to be able to help aid them in overcoming that struggle? So
Absolutely.
yeah, so that's what Smart Black Woman TV is about. It's about here to show their glory, to show their beauty, to show their intelligence, to show their understanding, their compassion, their love. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Because the sisters to get it hard too, man. Even we as black men, we get it hard, but they get it hard too. So we all
Yeah.
going through the same struggle, just in different lanes, brother.
Yep.
So yeah, so we here to build, brand, and broadcast.
All right.
And that's what we here to do: build, brand, and broadcast. And we're going to definitely be building through these conversations, through these stories, man, and bringing these amazing people on, um, to share it with us, brother.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So yeah, man. So again, I always appreciate you giving me your time, King, and coming in and sharing and sharing. Oh, one question before we go though: How do you? What is your thoughts about your honest thoughts about Simone Biles bowing out of the Olympics?
Well, of course, that's my profession, man.
I know it.
When we say our health is our wealth, well, our mental health is our wealth. Because let me tell you something. Remember, to say where the head goes, the body will follow, and you have to understand, and that's where we talk about emotional intelligence, self awareness, and what happens is, see, the thing is, when someone says anything with their experience, their emotions, and you
Hmm.
say the keyword empathy.
Right.
See, so many of us don't have empathy. And we're so wounded at times that we think that everybody's BSing us. And when
Right.
someone says something, they telling you this is how they feeling, and you being selfish because you have your agenda, and people want to tell you, and that's why people are getting more informed about the significance of mental health. And so now that people realizing that they don't have to push themselves to and do things, they have to concern themselves about themselves. Remember, I said you got one heart, one life, one soul, protected at all costs.
Right.
You don't get another brain. You know what I'm saying? You don't get
Right.
another a life, another soul. You have to protect that.
Absolutely.
And the thing is, and sometimes because we in a generation where everybody's always trying to push and compete against each other, and always who have the most things. Listen, this young lady, if she quit right now, she has accomplished, done more things than probably more people than ever of that sport.
98% people, 98% of people in sports.
Yeah.
She's done some
So and when
amazing things, bro.
and when they talked about about the twisted thing, it's like when I stop competing, I realized I didn't have it anymore. Remember, a lot of boxers, why you think they have
Right.
this drunken thing? Because they don't
Right.
know when to stop. They don't
Right.
have awareness. They keep pushing themselves, and this is why we see all our old boxing heroes who used to talk and be very braggadocious, very fluent speakers. You see how
Right.
they have this drunk stuff. You can hear it because they didn't know when to stop. And so I'm glad she's aware and not putting all that pressure on and having the weight of the world worrying about what she do, if she do something wrong or right. Because the very people who edifying her and happy because they want to see a win, but something happened to her, they just looking for the next athlete.
Because
You know?
they're there to capitalize on her talent and to be able to monetize her talent.
Yeah,
That's just facts. It's just facts. They making a lot of money off of her. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So
exactly. So
regardless if
I,
it's amateur sports or not, it's they still making a lot of money off of her. You
yeah.
know.
So my opinion is, I'm glad she did what she did because it's about her.
Exactly. I agree with you 100% on with you on that as well, brother. For sure. So we get ready to tighten it on up here, Fred. I mean,
All
again,
right, bro.
man, it's always love, brother. You know how we do.
Yes, man.
Yeah, man. And uh so we definitely gonna catch up. I'm gonna keep sharing the information again. Like I said, I'm building out these channels now. So if you know any graphic artist people, anyone that's looking to do any type of production, definitely have them to reach out because we have a large footprint. Even though
Yeah.
it's not built out, we have a large footprint,
Oh
and
yes, you can put it
and
in.
yeah, we definitely looking to fill up those lanes, man, and continue to build. But
Okay.
anything else you want to talk? Anything else you got to mention before you go? Any announcements that you have to make before we tighten it up,
No,
brother?
no, I don't have anything else, my brother.
Okay, that's what it is. Hey, everybody, want to thank you guys for coming in to the Get Happy Hour with my brother Suave and me, the Success Architect, the Socialpreneur, the Inner City Icon, right here on Neighborhood Planet, our neighborhood, our world. And we will be back next Thursday, chopping it up right here on Corkscrews, Cocktails, and Conversations with Brother Suave and the Success Architect on MPN TV and SheldonTV.com. Peace, everybody. All right, brother.
All right.